Hi, Dave.
Yes, Michael.
How you doing, mate?
Hey, man, I'm not too bad.
It's great to say hello.
Oh, thanks. Well, thanks for the call.
I'm very excited to have the baby animals coming back to Adelaide to see us. Every time you come and see us is sold out gigs, but this time even more excited because the new tunes are killer, Dave, and it's going to be a great gig.
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, it's good to have new stuff to play. You know,
It's been a while.
Old stuff too, but it's been a while.
Absolutely.
Not exactly the most prolific, writing partnership on the face of the earth. But anyway.
Well, I guess it's been a little difficult in recent years with Susie living in the United States. That sort of makes songwriting a bit hard together.
Yeah, we've been back and forth with a bit of, Skype and things like that. But it's a lot easier to get a band practice when all the members are in the same hemisphere.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Yeah. I had the great thrill of having Susie on the program last time you guys played around, and we did speak about that quite a bit. That how you would you write a riff or write something and send it over to her, and she'd send it back, and it was really fascinating to get her take on how that worked.
Yeah, it is. It's funny. It's a bit of a hit and miss thing. I have to hit her with a lot of different stuff, and sometimes she likes some of it she doesn't. But that's okay. It's a lot easier now because we don't have to go through that process. I can tell. She can tell me immediately if she doesn't like something, rather than have to, So it's or likes it, for instance. So it's been good. Good. We were actually starting to throw down a bit of material, just demo-wise, for hopefully what will be the next one. But to keep the ball rolling now that we've got a bit of head of steam.
Magnificent. Well, that the title of the new CD is very apt. Then, if that's happening, then, mate.
Yeah, it is. Actually, This Is Not the End was the title of a song that was in the running for this batch, but it just didn't make the cut. It just didn't fit in with the rest of the team sort of thing. It's dark and ambient. Hopefully, it'll turn up at some point. It's a fantastic song. So we'd like to record it. So all being well, it'll happen next time.
It sounds like a great name for a song, and so I look forward to hearing that one.
Yeah.
So this album, mate, is getting lots of response around Australia. People are. I'm reading stuff on your website that people are saying they love it, and the interviews and the songs I've heard sound great. But it's such a different way of approaching. Where when we go back to look at the first album with Mike Chapman making that album, to go to an indie recording is like just the whole other side of the world, mate.
Yeah, well, that was we were kind of put in a position where this was really the only way to do it. The way the record, the way the business is now and everything like that, and given our vintage, I'd say that the only deal that we were given by any major was such a bad deal for us that we were really placed in no position but to have to do it ourselves, really. The guys from Social Family Records, which is a small independent label, they shared the vision, so that was good, and that worked great as far as from an administration point of view and everything like that. But really, there was no other way to do it. We couldn't afford a Chapman and going to a massive studio, and really this point of our lives and in this kind of musical climate, we really didn't want to be in debt to a label either. So in a way, it worked out great. We had way more control over it. We did it kind of. There was a lot more artistic control over this time, so we're really happy and looking forward to doing another one exactly the same way.
And Social Family Records, mate, you mentioned they're doing really cool things. There's a lot of great artists starting to get on their books already. Steve Balby, who we'll talk about in a minute because he's coming out on tour with you, which is awesome. His new album is a killer, and you guys and some other artists. It's very cool that there's an indie label out there that's sort of grabbing what I call, mainstream rock in Australia that has nowhere to go anymore, and that's very cool.
And that's right, yeah, because it's they're the indie label that do mainstream acts as opposed to just doing smaller indie act sort of thing. So I think they've spotted a niche, it's spotted a demand in the market, and it's really good. Actually, they've just signed Damien Leaf too, which so he's just been released from Sony because he was tired of doing Roy Orbison record covers, and that's the release of he's a great songwriter. Myself and Mick from our band played on his first ever album. Well, the one he did for Idol. Yeah. Most of that was his material. Yeah. He's a great writer and he's a good guy and he deserves it, and it's really good that he gets the opportunity to do it.
Oh, and all power to dudes like Social Family because, as you say, if it wasn't for guys like that, we wouldn't be hearing new music from the likes of you guys.
Well, that's right. Every deal that we got offered was shit.
Well, I heard I was listening to an interview with Susie, and if my memory serves me correctly, this album cost $50,000 to make, which in the grand scheme of things is not a lot of money, but compared to what the first album would have cost, again, it's just unfathomable to sort of compare the two, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Well, even the second, because the first one did so well, much to our surprise as well, that the Amargo, the label, basically gave us an open checkbook for the second one. They loved it. So he was sitting around the world recording in Woodstock and the Bahamas and doing all this sort of thing. It really blew a lot of money. But at the time, it was funny because it was someone else's money. Whereas this time, it is completely opposite. It's our money. We paid for it from, we raised the money from doing gigs and from selling the album, before it was released on a pre-order sort of basis. And it's worked so well. Yeah, it's exactly the exact opposite. But we did have an international producer on this one, a guy called Dave Nicholas, who'd worked with, Elton John, Aussie guy, worked with Elton John and In Excess and Blur and George and even Delta Goodrem. And so he did a lot of stuff. So he was really good for us too.
Cool. And one of the things also with the new CD, Dave, is the packages that you've got out for people to grab, and the way you've merched it is really cool. You really feel like you're getting something special.
Yeah, that was actually a Social Family idea, which I think is really good. They've come up with some great concepts and things like that. And yeah, just to be able to give people something more, the vinyl side of it, that took a little while to get together because we had some manufacturing issues with it, but it eventually got across the line, which was good. And I've got a new thing coming out now where we are pre-selling a live DVD, which is going to be recorded on the last night of the Feed the Birds run. We're recording it. We're actually recording audio every night. We're multi-tracking the whole tour, but this one will be a big multi-camera shoot and everything like that, and going to put that in part of as a package as well, which will be really good. There've been a lot of people have been requesting a live album and things, so it'd be good to get that one going.
Absolutely, and that's interesting that you mentioned that, mate, because I think the Baby Animals recordings, you're one of the few bands in Australia that have sort of captured a lot of the energy and a lot of the grunt that you guys have on stage. You've pretty well captured that on every recording. There's not too many bands really manage to do that.
Yeah. It's, most of the recordings are pretty rocking. With this new one, we did a lot of work on pre-production. We were in and rehearsing and going through the tunes and the parts and everything. We did that really thoroughly before we actually started, before the red light came on, before we started recording stuff. So as a result of that, we kind of already we knew exactly what should happen when, and just banged it out as live as we could. I mean, a lot of the songs, Invisible Dream and other things, we got a chance to sort of layer them up and really paint a picture. But the basic tracks of those tunes all went down pretty well live, with very little editing. I know Hot Air Balloon was the first take that we did. it up and went, okay, banged it through, and got that one, and then went immediately did another 3, I think 2 or 3, and then went back and listened to them and kept the first one. So that had the energy, basically because it was done, as a live band. It's the only way to do it, really,
Absolutely. And you guys have a fearsome reputation live, and most deserved. If anyone hasn't seen you guys play or saw you guys back in the day and think that you and Susie and the rest of the guys have slowed down or got mellow, they are very, very wrong, because the last time you were here in Adelaide, you guys just rocked the house. It was awesome.
Thanks. Yeah, rock is where we live. We grew up on that thing, and we may be old, but we play twice as loud as someone half our age.
That's how it should be.
We have to even go in harder this time.
Fantastic. And I don't know if folks in Australia remember, but back in the day, you guys did very well over in the States, and big tour with Van Halen and all that stuff. Now that lots of water's gone under the bridge, how do you look? I guess it's, like you were saying with the recording, Shaved and Dangerous, it must have been quite a surreal experience.
It was a rock and roll dream come true. There was a few years where, our first major tour was with Bryan Adams through Europe, when he was doing the Waking Up the Neighbours album, and that was massive too. And then went to the Van Halen thing, which was, it was 10 semi-trailers. 10 semi-trailers worth of stuff. It had its own postcode, this thing, this tour. And to see Van Halen play, we did around about 60 gigs with them. And just, night after night, we got to hang out with them, and we became really good friends. It was a rock and roll dream come true. But it's a time when you're in amongst it. We were busy. We had an album to sell, so a lot of our days were done either doing press or doing record store. A bit like Spinal Tap. They go into all the record store and basically doing that, or doing meet and greets. Another one like Spinal Tap. Tap into America sort of thing. Doing that, so it was actually really busy, but it was an awesome opportunity, and I've just been occasionally something will click in, jump back into your memory, and it was awesome. Yeah, it was a great time.
And I just want to quickly talk about Mick and Dario, because people may not be so familiar with those two guys, because they're relatively new guys in the band. So tell me a bit about those guys.
Mick, that's a new rhythm section. Mick and Dario. Mick's I've known for a while. With the other guys, Eddie and Frank, it just became a bit of an unworkable situation. There was a little bit too much water under that bridge, and something that we couldn't really build a bridge over. So something had to give, and we had to move on. So I've known Mick for ages. He's a fantastic drummer. He's a fantastic technician, and he's a real field player. He's played on loads of records. I've known him for years. And Dario, we poached from Jimmy Barnes. We've known Dars for years too, way back from the Springfield days in King's Cross. Used to hang out, and our band used to support his band, and vice versa, and all that sort of thing. This is 20 odd years ago. Great guy, great player, and we actually poached him from Jimmy. He's great, and he fits in so well. He's a real rock guy. He plays with a lot of authority. Even with the old stuff, these guys have got big shoes to fill, and that's the thing. They dig deep and bring their own thing to the new, their own approach to the old material, as well as the new material is them. So they are part of the band. They're very much part of the sound, and we love them. They're awesome. We don't argue anymore. It's pretty quiet. It's a bit quiet in the band now, because we're not constantly arguing like the old days.
That's a good thing. You get old and mellow, Dave.
Oh man, that old band. God, we used to argue. It was funny because there was a cauldron. There was a lot of tension in that old band, and often things. It was like like the boiler of an old steam train. You know, it would be the cauldron, it would be the energy that would sort of somehow drive the band. So you get to the point where it just gets a little bit, oh really? It's a bit schoolyard, and a bit unnecessary. And sometimes you don't want to have to put up with tension in your own band. Sometimes harmony inside a band unit is good as well. So we've got harmony now. It's really good.
I'm looking forward to see how all the fluffies and smiles come out on stage then, mate.
Yeah, I'm grinning from ear to ear, man. Anytime I get a chance to play with those cats, it's a good, you know, any day to be on stage with those guys is a good day. That's for sure. They come up, we do demos in my lounge room now. Set up a kit and we give the neighbours a bit of what for, a few hours, a couple of days a week, and it's great. You know, the stuff that we're writing is falling together really easily. They've got great ideas. It's good. You know, I feel like there's a future, which is really cool. You know.
Absolutely, it's great to have bands that, you know, like yourselves, that have made such a mark in the history of Australian music, that you're still out there going strong and still making new music. And as I said last time you were here in Adelaide, the Gov was packed to the rafters. I know it's going to be packed to the rafters this time. So, you know, that's proof that people still love having you around, still want to hear what you're playing, and you guys, everyone knows you deliver live. So, you know, it's a good thing.
Oh, thanks, man. And the Gov's a great venue too.
It is.
It's awesome. We played it. Yeah, I played there once with Doc when myself and Mick were in Doc Nixon's Angels for a while. And we did a ripping gig there as well. It's such a great rock room. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to getting back, man. It's going to be unreal. We know a few guys too. We've got a bit of a posse down there. There's a guy called Mick Briley. He's a pickup maker. He lives in Adelaide, and we've got a few mates down there, so it's going to be a great catch-up. It's really good.
Awesome. October the 24th at the Gov, as I said, it is a really great venue, and we are very lucky that Adelaide has an enduring rock venue that's been going for a long time, and you know, we haven't got too many of them left, but the Gov's one of the best in the country.
Yeah, well, you know, deserving of the place. Adelaide being, you know, the rock hub that has been all this time and still is.
Oh, there still is some good music coming out of Adelaide, and yeah, I think as every city in Australia is, we're proud of the rock and roll heritage that's come out of Adelaide. But yeah, it's still going strong, which is also a good thing. So we're really looking forward to the gig at the Gov, mate, and the Feeding the Birds tour, and a live DVD will be awesome because as we said during our chat, the band is just killer live, and to capture that and to have something that you can actually take home and remind you how good the band is on stage is been a long time coming.
Yeah, it has been. It has been a long time coming, and we're just so grateful to having the opportunity to do it. You know, have another crack at it, and yeah, we still, you know, it's kind of even better this time. Really, we're sort of approaching it, you know, with a bit of maturity under our belts and everything, and it's great. Looking forward to it, man.
Good one. Thank you, mate. It's been a pleasure to say hello. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys again. It's as I said last time, just blew my mind. It was so good to see you guys coming around again, and a packed house, and the room just went off, and it was a great night. So look forward to doing it again.
Cool, man. Make sure you come and say good day. Be good to catch up.
Shall do. Can I get you to do a quick tag for me?
Of course. Yep, no worries.
My program is called Sitting in a Bar in Adelaide.
Done that a few times.
If you can do something like, this is Dave Leslie from the Baby Animals, you're listening to Sitting in a Bar in Adelaide, or whatever clever things jump into your mind whenever you're ready.
Alrighty. Hey there, podcast listeners. This is Dave Leslie, and I'm here with Michael, sitting in a bar in Adelaide.
Awesome, mate. Thank you again. It's been a real pleasure. I appreciate your time, and can't wait to see you guys at the Gov.
Good on you, man. Come and say good day. It'd be great to meet you.
I shall. Take care. Thank you again.
Okay, thanks, Michael.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.